changes there in the roof.
Yep.
This piece was the original piece. It was the other end.
That's just stacked 2x4s?
That's how your grandfather and great grandfather, that's even the tack shed down at the ranch built out 2x4s.
Huh.
Just like that.
That's solid.
Yeah. I think this is the original.
This part here?
This part here.
And who built this?
Your great grandfather.
Great grandfather.
And then a few years later, he added the other end onto it.
So when, oh, they got some spots to tie. Did you guys store tack in here at all?
Yeah, all of our tack went in there. Tied it over to the wall. The wall here.
Yep. Part. Oh, you can see all the way through to the other side. So this cabin, built by my great grandfather, so they had a corral in this area here for run sheep in and separate them and do whatever else they were going to do. And these might be some leftover posts from the old corral they had. Yeah, there's one right over there by that tree, and all these right here.
Yeah. This is part of this, some of the posts where the trail was.
So here's exactly where the corral used to sit 40 years ago. There's some more over there.
Yeah. So I think we had a couple corrals there, a couple different. So this has been one corral, and that a different, and another corral over there, and the chute was probably over here.
Probably closest to the road, which makes sense. So this might have been an alley between the two
There's a plank right here.
corrals.
Yeah. Actually, our chute might have been right here. Or yeah, can you see this wide in like this?
This could have been the
I think this is where our chute was, and we could put the sheep in this corral and run them down the chute, and we had a gate. We could either cut them over here or cut them over here. If we were sorting, we could sort them that way or sort them this way.
Is that an old piece of the fence?
Looks like it. Oh, right here's one of our panels, eh?
Oh,
We would stack them under these trees like this.
There's more under it.
We would stack them up under these trees in the winter so the snow wouldn't break them down. Do you know how long since that's been used?
40 years.
Probably, yeah, 40 plus years probably.
The bottom ones have rotted out. The ones on top
Stayed a little better.
have stayed out of the water more.
We'd set the corral was all panels. We'd set it up in this time of year, and then in the fall when we left, we'd tear them all down and stack them under these trees.
Huh.
This is crazy. I can't imagine still posting the ground and still, some of the panels that we use. Probably the last time we used these, probably in '82. Like,
Yeah, that's a split post, right?
yeah, I think probably the last time we used this grill was '82.
Huh. Yeah, there's little pieces everywhere.
This would be one fence line. It's left.
Oh yeah.
Post there and post here. Down
The post
here and
here.
then across.
Post was really cool.
Crossed over there and then along, kind of probably along those trees. Right down along that side.
That tree is probably in the middle of it.
This big tree would have been in the corral. Yeah, this is crazy. Some of these posts still in the ground. It's been 40 years since we used these grills.
We brought the metal detector.
And that panel laying on the ground there, that's kind of crazy after 40 years.
Yeah. And there, I mean, you'd have, well, you probably used wire around some of it and the panels on part of it. You wouldn't panel the whole thing.
I remember the whole thing being paneled.
Oh, okay.
And we had, I don't ever remember hauling wire in. Maybe Wayne remembers different, but I just remember this whole thing being paneled. We'd stack them up probably under these trees. And
Probably some remnants of other ones laying around then somewhere.
we used that tree. I'm sure we used these two trees.
Yeah. Looks like they found something over here. What'd you find? Oh, here's
More panels.
more panels on the ground.
Yep,
Some
sure
laying
enough.
out over here.
Another post right there.
Another post behind you, the stump of it, and another one over there maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, another post over there.
So these trees were inside the.
And there's one.
Sticking out of the tree. Maybe that was one of the posts. Just used the tree. Oh yeah, a whole bunch.
Yeah, there's some more.
Yeah, underneath these limbs here.
Oh man.
What's left of some little panels here.
I just start really tall.
So this is an old paint can. They would, when they brought them into the corrals, they'd mark them in certain ways. This is one of the old paint cans from then.
One of the flat ones, get that flat side out of it. And then you'd have the handle, because it had a handle on it. On the paint cans, had a handle on them. And our brand was H-bar. And you dip that in the paint. You walk down, you'd had an aisle that you could reach across. And you dip it in the paint, and just like this, down through there.
How long would the paint stay on?
They sheared them.
By the time you sheared, the wool was grown out, and it was kind of like these trees where it would be kind of distorted, but still, it would still have your color. Like Waldorf was red, and ours was blue. So even if you couldn't read the brand, the color would still be there.
Oh, okay.
So we would brand them when we sheared, and we wouldn't rebrand the ewes basically until we sheared again. But and then when we started trailing out, we might have started doing a little branding, just because, well, not when we started trail. That's all I ever remember is trailing out. But paint can here, maybe lambs, probably. It would probably be lambs that had not, because anything that we didn't get docked or that was born later, if there was any long tails here, we would work them and probably brand them here. Castrate them, dock the tails, earmark them. We dock the ewe lambs shorter than the weather lambs.
What's the difference?
The weather lamb would just go to market. The ewe lambs, either the ones we kept or the ones we sold would either end up on somebody else would they become ewes for somebody else.
Oh.
So you cut them, you cut the tails, you dock them short, because in some circumstances when the wool gets long, manure balls can build up around the back end. So you dock the tail shorter to help keep that from happening.
Guess who did that?
Bill?
What year did you do it?
74.
How do you know?
Says it
Yeah,
right
right
there.
here.
What do the other ones say?
Did you do that? Really?
What does the other stuff say?
That's, I can't tell. That'd be somebody else underneath there. And sometimes people carve kind of
A shape?
a big, like wider. And that, as the tree grows, it kind of grows out of shape. So if you just take your knife and make slits.
What you doing?
Initials in a year. Is that good, you think?
That's probably good.
How am I gonna do 2 2s?
Oh, you do like digital clock.
Oh.
What is that?
Not a 2.
You want to do a practice one?
I could turn it into a 2.
Did you hear him say do digital? Do, don't do a curve.
That doesn't look
Oh,
bad.
Lane's turning it into a curve. What are you putting on yours? KW?
I had to do a curve. I think it looks pretty good though. It might not turn out good later.
Come back in 40 years.
We'll see.
I think that'll work. This might be a little close.
When Jason and I are 70, we'll come back up here and you'll bring your kids.